Hi everybody, my name is Danielle Nicole and welcome to Monetary Makeup. Okay, you guys, I am so excited. I found the Holy Grail, my most favorite eyeshadow palette I have ever used. If you guys like grungy, smoky, beautiful eyeshadow palettes, then this video is definitely for you. So the palette we are going to be reviewing today is from Jolie Beauty and none other than the Sorceress Palette. Now the first thing I want to mention is take a look at the artwork on this palette. The outside art is absolutely beautiful, and let's open up this bad boy that does have a full mirror which says, "You look simply bewitching." How cute is that? So let me just read you what the back of this palette says real quick. It says, "Bewitch your onlookers with the magic of the Sorceress Palette. A mixture of cool, smoky tones mixed with pops of mysterious plums and enchanted greens. This 28 shade palette has magical mattes, pop-in shimmers, enchanted pressed glitters, and some devious color-changing shades. Delve into the most mystical of realms when you reach for the Sorceress Palette and unleash your inner powers." Now, if you guys want to see this entire palette swatched out, I'm going to link Jolie Beauty's YouTube channel down below where she swatches every single one of these shades so you guys can see what they look like. I am going to show you guys just a couple of the shades live as well so you can see that, but I highly recommend checking out her channel and her overall brand. So this is what this palette looks like. It is a cool tone dream. Now you guys, this palette does not just have mattes and shimmers. There's a couple of self-adhesive pressed glitters, but there's also duochrome and multi-chrome shifting shades in here. Now you'll see in a second in the tutorial, I am in love with this brand. They're also vegan and cruelty free, and this whole palette was only about $50, so it's not too bad for all the different shades and textures you get. And while we review this beautiful Sorceress palette, the topic of the day for today and also the rest of this month are going to be a trick or a treat regarding finances or insurance. Now, I think I mentioned a couple of times that this palette has 24 shades, so I apologize if you hear that. It has 28 shades, and just a quick spoiler alert, this is my new favorite palette. This brand is everything I can ever dream of. If you love cool tones, you're going to love this palette too, I have no doubt. Now, the last thing I want to mention is that they just released a new palette called Vampirism. I believe I'm saying that correctly. But if you're not into cool tones, the Vampirism palette, oh my gosh, you guys, the color story in that has warm reds and pinks and grungy greens and browns and cool tone grays, but most of that palette is more warm. Now that palette is not set to come out until the 14th of October, but don't worry, I got your guys' backs. I already pre-ordered that palette, so that will be the next palette I review from Jolie Beauty, and I cannot wait. So if you guys love Halloween-inspired makeup, you'd like to learn a little bit more about finances or insurance, then this channel is definitely for you. So don't forget to hit the subscribe button, the like button, and let's get started right now. So I'm just going to hold up this palette. That way you guys can take a screenshot and see what all these shade names are. That way as I'm doing the tutorial, you guys can follow along. So if you'd like, go ahead and take that screenshot right now. Okay, I'm not going to lie, you guys. I am so overwhelmed. There are so many different shades that I'd like to go in with. But I'm thinking what I'd like to do today is kind of like a grungy, smoky eye with some of those multi-chrome shades. So let's start off with the shade Bewitching, which is this kind of deep shimmery gray tone that is just calling my name. So I'm going to use a fluffy brush and apply this all over my lid to get started. And in case you guys are wondering what brushes I'm using, I'm going to be using the Colourpop Stone Cold Fox collection, as well as a few e.l.f. brushes, so I'll just be alternating between the two. So I'm going to start off with the e.l.f. blending brush. The reason I love these brushes is because they're a little bit more flat, which is exactly how the Colourpop Stone Cold fox brushes are, and I just find having slightly hooded eyes, those make it a little bit easier to blend out. So let's dip into the shade Bewitching. The names in here are just so adorable too. I just absolutely love the names. So let's dip into the shade right here. While I apply this first Bewitching shade, I also just wanted to let you guys know I've been really sick the last couple of weeks. My daughter was sick as well. I have a family member who's not doing well. So I've been a little bit busy, but I did pick up both of the Colourpop Hocus Pocus palettes. So I was thinking about doing a comparison between the 2020 version versus this palette. So if you guys would like to still see that, I'm not sure if it's considered old news. You know how the beauty community is, something releases and a week later it's considered old. But if you guys are interested in seeing that, definitely let me know. Oh my gosh, I am just obsessed with this palette. I'm sorry you guys, I keep talking about it and we just started. But I love cool tones. And these shades just absolutely blend out so seamlessly. And as you can see, I'm using a $3 e.l.f. brush. And oh my gosh, it's just beautiful. And in case I forgot to mention, the only makeup I have on so far are my brows and the e.l.f. Putty Eye Primer in the shade Rose. Okay, so that first shade, Bewitching, is beautiful. I changed my mind. Instead of doing a fluffy blending brush, I'm actually going to dip in with my finger and pack that on to my eyelid, and then I'll continue to blend that shade out because I'd really like this to be kind of more of a deep kind of grungy look. Okay, I'm going to put the Bewitching shadow on this eye, and I'll be right back. Okay, so I just finished applying that beautiful Bewitching gray shade. And next, I think what I would like to do is deepen this up a little bit more. So I'm going to go in with this shade right here, which is called Dreamcatcher. And Dreamcatcher is a black, but it has a shimmer in it. So I'm going to focus this on the outer corner. This palette is like heaven, you guys. You know I'm a very cool tone person, but I also love cool tones. So this palette is just everything I could ever dream of. And I'm definitely going to be using this throughout the winter and even the summer because, yes, there are a lot of deep smoky shades, but there's also some bright greens and lilac and purple colors. So you definitely can get a very natural look, a smoky look, or a bright look as well. There's just so many options. And don't worry, I'm making a mess all over here, but we'll cut that with concealer later. This is the new Colourpop Mirror that released this year. It is so cute. It says, "I shall always be with you." I love Hocus Pocus and anything Halloween themed, to be honest. So it's right up my alley. Okay, so just to clean up the top under the brow, I'd like to go in with this matte white shade, which is called Snow Moon. And then I'm going to use the shade Equinox, which is this white shimmer shade on the brow bone. So let me go in with that next. It's so nice, too, to have so many neutrals, a matte white, a matte black, pops of color. I mean, I feel like you could get so many different looks with this palette all year long. Okay, so next I'm going to add a little bit of that Equinox, which is kind of like a, you know what? Now that I'm looking at this shade Equinox, which is kind of the more white shimmer shade, it's not just a white. It actually has almost like a greenish hue to it. So like I said, all of these shades are super unique. So just because at first glance it might look like, okay, that's just a white or it's just a purple, but there's so much dimension to these shades and you can tell they really thought through them. I'm just trying to decide what shimmer shade to go in with. Okay, so here's what we're gonna do. I'm going to go in with the shade Shape Shifter, which is one of the multi-chrome shades, and focus that on the outer portion of the lid. And then for the inner portion of the lid, I'm really dying to get into this shade called Pocus, which is this kind of light green shimmer shade. So I'm going to focus that on the inner corner and a shapeshifter on the outside. Now typically I would cut the crease, but I really just want to see what these shades can do on their own. And I'm going to take the shades up above where my natural crease is. I have slightly hooded eyes, so I always like to do that with my shimmer shades. So first, let me just take my ring finger and dip that. This palette's so big, you guys. I'm sorry, it's kind of hard to hold up, but I'm just going to take a little bit. Wow. Okay, so look at this shade. I don't know if you guys can see. I do have new lights that I ordered soon too, so if you can just bear with me for a few more videos, that would be awesome. All right, so I'm just going to focus this kind of on the outer portion of my lid. Oh my God. Oh. This shade, you guys, everything is just blending beautifully. Wow. Oh my God. I mean, there's probably 4 different colors in that shapeshifter shade. You know how Colourpop does these types of shades and there's like 2? With these ones, you guys, I mean, there's probably like at least 4 different shades. I can see, and I'll show you up close once I'm done, but there is purple, there's blue, there's green, there's almost like a silvery taupey shade in here too. So depending on how I turn, wow. Talk about a beautiful shade, wow. And let's dip into Pocus with my ring finger. And I'm going to do the same thing, but focus that on the inner portion of my eyelid. Oh my God. You guys, I know I have said it so many times. This is seriously my favorite palette I have ever used. I'm so excited to get the Vampirism palette that she has coming out October 15th, or 14th, I'm sorry. I already ordered it. Don't worry. It is coming as soon as it is released. I will review that one for you guys too. Yeah, you do not need to cut the crease with these shades at all. Okay, so I'm going to do the same thing to the other eye, but I'm just going to lean up close. Here, let me pull you guys in a little bit. Can you guys see all those different colors shifting? Oh my God, it is beautiful. Okay, let me do the other eye and I'll be right back. Okay, you guys, so next I have to dip into the matte black, which is called Sabbath. I mean, seriously, how fitting is this palette? So that's this shade right here. And I'm going to take a flat liner brush from e.l.f. and I'm going to create kind of like a faux eyeliner, as I call it. But I'm going to take it up a little bit higher on the outer corner to create just a little bit more definition. So let's see if this matte black is everything the other shades are cracked up to be. Oh yeah, immediately can see that shade on my lash line. Wow. Again, you guys, I know the lighting is not phenomenal. You have to bear with me. I just got started on YouTube not too long ago. So I quickly realized in northern Michigan, we do not get enough sunlight for natural beauty tutorials. That is for sure. Yeah, the other thing I'd like to add about this palette is, you know how some palettes can be overly pigmented, so where you dip your brush in, you feel like you're having to blend forever? This isn't like that. They're pigmented, but they're definitely buildable at the same time, which is just exactly what I'm looking for. I'm really not getting a lot of fallout either. I was kind of expecting with so many beautiful deep shades that I would have a ton of color underneath, but I really don't have, I don't think I have any fallout. This is nuts. Okay, you guys, so I'm going to go in with my Essence Lash Princess and also apply the rest of my base products and just clean up there's hardly any fallout, but apply my foundation and all of that, and then we'll finish off with the lower lash line. So see you in a second. Okay guys, so I just finished the rest of my base products, and I did put the Essence Lash Princess Mascara on, but I decided to go in with lashes, so I decided to use my favorite lashes, which are from Salon Perfect, number 614, the Wispies. So those are on my eyes. Now let's do the lower lash line. Okay, so these two greens are really speaking to me. So the first one is called Healer, which is this green shade right here. So I'm going to smoke out with this shade, and then to kind of almost tight line, but going right into the lash line, this shade Powerful is also calling to me. So let's first get started with the shade Healer, and I'm going to dip in, and this looks almost like a neon shade. You can see the tip of the brush right here. So let's smoke this out on the lower lash line. Oh, it's so pretty. It's actually not as bright as I thought it would be on the lower lash line, but it is beautiful. You guys are probably going to be shocked because normally I'm all about kind of quick, easy, fast makeup, which this is definitely an easy palette to work with. So I guess what I'm saying is usually I do a more natural look, but there was just so many shades in here. I really wanted to see what this palette could do. Okay, so I'm really liking how that Healer shade is looking, but I'm trying to fit as many shades as I possibly can. So next, let's go in with the shade Powerful, which is this kind of teal shade right here. And instead of smoking this shade out, I'm going to keep this shade really close to the lash line, because I kind of want to keep the bottom a little more green. So I'm going to go as close to my lash line as I can. Oh yeah, that looks beautiful. This is literally my favorite palette. In case I didn't say it the first 100 times, but I'm going to go back and order another one because I know that they sometimes do sell out. Oh yeah, that made a huge difference. Just create a little bit more definition on the lower lash line. Alright, now for the inner corner. I cannot decide what I want to do. Give me 1 second. Okay, so for the inner corner, I think what I want to do is mix two different shades. So the first shade is this Equinox shade, which is, it almost looks like a white shimmer, but it has this beautiful, almost cool tone green shift to it. And I might mix a little bit of Hocus with that, which is this purple shade. So let me mix those two and apply that to the inner corner, and I'll be right back. Okay, you guys, so because I wanted to play with so much color, I did mix those first two shades, the Equinox shade, the white shimmer, as well as with the shade Hocus, which is this light lavender. But I really wanted to try out, let's see, Enchantress. So I put just a tiny bit of this Enchantress shade over for the inner corner highlight. So let me give you guys an up-close look so you can see. What do you guys think? Oh my gosh. I mean, if that's not a beautiful eyeshadow, I don't know what is. It's just, there's so many different dimensions and colors in here. I am just obsessed with this eyeshadow palette. I absolutely love it. Okay, so next we're going to cut into just a couple of swatches so you guys can see, and then we will do the topic of the day, and then we'll meet back here for a wear test. So I'll see you in a second. Okay, you guys, so I just wanted to show you up close what this palette looks like. And as I mentioned, I don't really have the time to swatch every single shade, but here's a couple of them just so that way you guys can see. I mean, there's glitters, there's shimmers, there's multi-chromes. They are so creamy, they blend out beautifully. So hopefully just these couple of swatches can kind of give a good idea of what this palette can really do. And these are just 6 of the 24 shades, so absolutely beautiful. All right, next let's cut into the topic of the day. Hello everybody and welcome to the topic of the day. So today we are going to go over what I would consider a trick when it comes to the Affordable Care Act / Obamacare. So there's this misconception that agents that represent insurance companies just constantly jack up the prices and charge whatever they want. But this is in fact a trick, or a myth, I guess I could say. So agents who work with the Affordable Care Act or Obamacare, they cannot simply just raise rates to earn extra commission. So whether you choose to work with a local agent who understands your situation, who's local, who can be there for you, or if you just call a 1-800 number, there is no difference in the price or the premium, I should say. So I know this is a quick tip, but I really wanted to focus on the eyeshadow palette today, and I just wanted to give you guys a heads up that I do recommend reaching out to a local agent that can assist you when the time comes for open enrollment. So there's no tricks with the premiums with the Affordable Care Act, so if you have any questions, I highly recommend reaching out to a local agent that specializes in this insurance. All right, next let's cut into the wear test right now. Hi everybody, so this makeup has been on now for about 9 hours. I know I said it 100 different times, but you guys, seriously, this Jolie Beauty Sorceress Palette, it is just absolutely stunning. And this is what it looks like after 9 hours, so you guys can have a look for yourself. I mean, there's so many different looks you can create with this palette, because there's neutrals, there's mattes, there's shimmers, there's glitters. I just cannot say enough good things about it. I am so excited to get the Vampirism palette. Hopefully I'm saying that correctly, but that gets released October 14th. I already pre-ordered it, so if you're not into cool tones, this palette is going to have a lot more warm tones with reds and greens and browns, a little bit more grungy. So if it's anything like the quality of this palette, I'm sure I'm going to love that as well. As I said, I just cannot say enough good things about this palette. But what do you guys think? Do you guys like the look I created? Do you want me to do more? If you do, comment Monetary Makeup down below and let me know. So thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the first tutorial. I will have more to come with this palette, I'm sure. And again, this month is all October and Halloween themed. So I'll see you guys in my next video. Thanks so much. Bye guys.